Hello everyone. Today I'm replacing the water pump on my sister's 96 Chevy Lumina. It has the GM 3100 V6. This is what the water pump looks like. You can see it's got a rather large pulley. It's next to the power steering pump. The belt has been removed, but normally it would run here from the power steering pump across the back of this and down to the air conditioning compressor. Now the easiest way to get your pulley off is to remove these 3/8 inch bolts while the serpentine belt is still holding it in place. And then once you get the bolts loose, you can simply pull the tensioner to release tension on the serpentine belt and lift it off the alternator. Then you can loosen your bolts and remove the pulley. There are 5 bolts that hold your water pump on. There's 3 on the top, one here, and one here, and then 2 more on the bottom. For reference, you should look at your new pump. That'll tell you exactly where they are. They are 8mm bolts, just like the battery connectors. So, I'll pull those 5 bolts, pull the water pump off. Now you may wish to flush your cooling system if your water pump was still working, but just leaking. Otherwise, you remove your pump after draining a little bit of coolant out of the radiator. There should be a valve. I believe it's on the driver's side on the bottom. Otherwise, you could just pull one of the radiator hoses and drain a little bit that way. Makes for less of a mess. So, I'll remove my water pump and get back to filming. This is what it'll look like once you pull the water pump out. As you can see, most of the gasket remain on the engine here. So I'm going to use a putty knife to scrape it off. Be very careful, you don't want to get any scratches or ridges or grooves cut into this, since it is just aluminum. Some gasket kits say to use sealant, some don't. Read your instructions carefully and do whatever they recommend. So here's what the surface looks like after it's been cleaned and dried. As you can see, nice shiny aluminum all the way around. Now what I'm using for my sealant is this ultra black high temp RTV silicone gasket maker, and it's good for pretty much anything on an engine. Just follow the directions on the back. In this case, I'm going to apply it to the gasket and then stick that on here and give it some time to dry. So here's the new water pump installed after applying our gasket maker to the engine mounting surface, then applying the gasket after giving it a minute or two to become tacky, then applying more gasket maker to the gasket, allow that to become tacky, and then apply our water pump. Then put the 5 bolts back in and tighten them to spec. And after we have that, then we can put our pulley back on. So here's our completed installation with the belt routing. Here's what it looks like if you want to get a good quick view here. You can see right here, this is your crank. This is the tensioner arm. There's the alternator, power steering, water pump, air conditioning compressor. So there you have it. Now you need to do the coolant fill procedure, and it's special for this particular vehicle. It has a couple different vents that you need to open and close while the engine's running. So that's something you should look up.